One owner, one dealership, a 2006 Honda Civic that came back to the exact same dealership it was bought from, with over 1 million miles on the original engine and the original automatic transmission, not parked in a museum, driven, every day, for years. In part 1, I showed you 5 Honda engines that already crossed the million-mile line. Today, we're not done counting, because there's a second group. Real cars, real owners, documented odometers that are either past 1 million right now or closing in fast. And they're all different engines than the ones you saw last time. Welcome back to Honda Decoded. I'm Mike. We've been wrenching for 25 years. Stay until the end. Number 1 on this list is the most verified story I've ever put on this channel. How this channel works. Quick note on how we do things here, because it matters. Everything you're about to hear is built on verified cases, dealer records, documented owners, actual odometer photos, not forum posts. My uncle had one that ran forever. Verified data, real shop experience, no hype. The honest part most channels skip. The truly verified million-mile club is small. That's not a bad thing. It's what makes each of these cars remarkable. So today I'm showing you the second wave. These engines didn't get famous on a drag strip. They earned their miles the boring way, one oil change at a time. Number 3, the V6 everyone worries about, J35Z 2014 Odyssey. The V6 that people assume can't last, in a 2014 Honda Odyssey. Here's why this one matters. The J35Z is the 3.5-liter variant that powers the 4th generation Odyssey, and it's the one everybody loves to warn you about. The reason is VCM, Variable Cylinder Management, the system that shuts down 3 of the 6 cylinders on the highway to save fuel. There's a documented 2014 Odyssey, verified by VIN, that passed 902,000 miles, still going, closing in on 7 figures. And it wasn't babied in a garage, it was used as a rideshare vehicle. City miles, stop and go, heat soak, about the worst possible duty cycle for a V6. So what do we actually learn from that? VCM can cause oil consumption on these engines. I've seen it in my shop, oil creeping past the rings on the deactivated cylinder bank. That's a real documented pattern, and Honda faced a class action lawsuit covering affected 2008 through 2013 vehicles because of it. But this 900,000-mile Odyssey proves it's not automatic. Not every J35Z is a time bomb. It's the ones that got neglected. Long intervals, cheap oil, never checking the level, that suffer the worst. Keep the oil fresh, check it between changes, and the VCM system is a fuel-saving feature, not a death sentence. If you're shopping a used Odyssey with a J35Z, here's your test. Ask one question. Is there a service history? A 150,000-mile J35Z with full records beats a 90,000-mile one with none, every single time. On a test drive, watch for oil burn, blue smoke at startup or under acceleration. And a rough, lumpy idle after a cold start is the VCM cylinders telling you something's already wrong. Smooth idle, clean records, that's a buy. If you're learning what to actually check before buying a high-mileage Honda V6, that's exactly what this channel is for. Subscribe to Honda Decoded, verified data, real shop experience, no hype. Number 2, about to cross the line, F22B1 1994 Accord EX Wagon. This one gives me the best part of my job. The F22B1 in a 1994 Honda Accord EX Wagon. I have to be straight with you here, because this channel doesn't fake numbers. This engine is not past 1 million yet. It's sitting right around 995,000 miles, and the owner documents every single one. He calls the car Grandma. The reason I'm including it is simple. It's the best real-world proof I have of what this engine family can do, and it is right on the edge of crossing the line. The F22B1 is a 2.2-liter single overhead cam engine with Honda's VTEC E system, a version of VTEC tuned specifically for fuel efficiency rather than outright power. The block is cast iron, the head is aluminum. Honda was not chasing horsepower with this engine. They were chasing durability and economy, and it shows. The F22B1 is a timing belt engine, so interval discipline matters, but the owner has kept it on schedule, and the car is still running. The wagon itself is the plot twist. Station wagons work harder than you'd think. They haul, they carry gear, they tow light loads. This one has spent its life as a working vehicle, and its owner logs every oil change, every maintenance item, publicly, so there's no question about the numbers. That's the kind of documentation I respect. Here's what to take from it. If you're buying any F-Series Honda, the Accord, the Prelude, the Wagons, you're buying an engine that was engineered to be conservative on purpose. And conservative is exactly what you want when the goal is 7 figures. Keep the timing belt on schedule, keep the oil changed, and this engine family will outlast the sheet metal around it. One honest note, will Grandma actually cross 1 million? We'll find out. The F22 family is one of the most underrated engines Honda ever built. If you want more deep dives into the engines that actually last, subscribe to Honda Decoded, new verified content every week. Number 1. Already did it. R18A1, 2006 Honda Civic. The engine that didn't just close in on 1 million, it crossed. The R18A1 in a 2006 Honda Civic. Here's the headline. This Civic crossed 1 million miles on its original engine and its original automatic transmission. Not a manual, which is easier to preserve. An automatic. One owner the whole time. The odometer on the 8th generation Civic maxes out at 999,999, so the real mileage had to be calculated using the trip computer. At last verified reading, it was 1,001,043 miles. Here's the part I love most about this story. The car was sold new through Mathews Honda in Marion, Ohio, and when it finally came back, with 1 million plus on the trip computer, it came back to that same dealership. The service department had the records going back to day 1. Single owner, 1 head gasket replacement at around 500,000 miles. That's the only major repair on record, on an engine that went 1 million miles. Dealer documented, press covered, verified. Now let's talk about why the R18A1 is the perfect way to end this list. It's a 1.8-liter SOHC, iVTEC 4-cylinder, the standard commuter engine in the 8th generation Civic. No turbo, no variable cylinder management, no direct injection, just a lightweight, simply constructed, naturally aspirated 4 that was asked to do one job, get someone to work, every day, for nearly 2 decades. And it did it without a full rebuild. This is the counterpoint to every economy engine can't last assumption. A modest, well-maintained engine will outlast a more complex one that gets neglected. The R18 proves it. If you're shopping a used 8th gen Civic with the R18A1, here's your checklist. Run a compression test. It should be even across all 4 cylinders. Check the valve cover gasket for oil seepage around the edges. That's the classic high mileage tell on this engine. And ask about transmission service history. This Civic made it to 1 million with its original automatic, but that automatic needed the fluid changed on schedule. A Civic that kept its records is a Civic that kept its engine alive. The R18A1 is one of the most reliable 4-cylinder engines Honda has ever produced, and most people sleep on it. Subscribe to Honda Decoded for more verified, real-world reliability data on the engines that matter. Recap. Quick recap before I wrap this up. Number 3. The J35Z in a 2014 Odyssey, 902,000 miles as a rideshare vehicle, proof the V6 can go the distance if you keep the oil right. Number 2. The F22B1 in a 1994 Accord EX Wagon, at about 995,000 miles and documented by its owner, right on the edge of crossing. And number 1. The R18A1 in a 2006 Civic, over 1 million miles on the original engine and the original automatic, verified by the dealership that sold it new. Honest disclosure. Same disclaimer as always. Everything on this list is based on verified, documented cases, not averages, not guesses. Verified cases are not guarantees. Your engine is only as good as the maintenance behind it. That's the whole lesson in one sentence. If you're buying any high-mileage Honda, get an independent pre-purchase inspection from a mechanic with no stake in the sale. Compression test, fluid inspection, timing belt check if it applies. That tells you more about the car than any ownership claim ever will. Which one surprised you? The V6 that kept going as a rideshare, the wagon sitting on the edge of 1 million, or the little Civic that outlasted them all? Drop it in the comments. And if you own one of these engines, give me your mileage and what's on your service sheet. That's the real data this channel is built on. I'm Mike. Keep the records. Keep the car. Subscribe to Honda Decoded. Verified data. Real shop experience. No hype.